guys, and welcome to episode number 6 of the Balkan bush trip. This is time for leg number 6. We're going from Mostar to Dubrovnik. I don't know how to pronounce, like, Chilipi? I don't know. I know it's Dubrovnik, though. Leg 5 was 59 miles, 59 miles for leg 6, so similar length to the last episode this video will probably be. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this Balkan bush trip series. It's probably my favourite thing about this new sim, these bush trips. I think they're awesome fun. So anyway, we'll go ahead and spawn in. So you can see last time we ended up in this field here, that's Mostar, and then we're making our way across to Dubrovnik, Chilipi. So go ahead and click continue. We're flying a Cessna 172 Skyhawk with the G1000s on it as well, which is really good. So I'm looking forward to it. So this is leg number 6 out of 16. I believe, yeah, leg 6. And of course we'll be doing VFR flying and following things on the ground with the slight assistance of course, the GPS that the game just provided for us, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it should be pretty good. Just let it load in. Takes its time, remember, to load in. That's just how that is, isn't it? And I think we should be in for a pretty good little flight. So you can see here is Mostar. There's our plane on the ground there. Obviously no taxiing to do in these bush flights. Literally just, it's, you know, what on earth? Can someone explain, did I park like this last time? Because while we spawned in sideways, I'll have to watch the last video, I know, because obviously it's the 31st of August, so it's been about half a week since I last recorded one of these. Because we are facing the wrong way. That's a little bit strange. Okay, that side. Okay, departing from Mostar, follow the river south. So that's the river, I think. And we'll put this into 10-mile range. So follow the Neretva River, you'll arrive at the riverside town of Kaplina, an archaeological wonder dating back to 5 BC, where 2 bridges cross the waterway near its centre. Make your way to the rolling hills just east of the Neretva River. So I think we're following the river for the first part. So we want to take off and follow the river south. So that's our river there. Look, that's the Neretva River there. And we're going to go ahead. Well, I'll have to get us back in line anyway right now. So we'll just go ahead and get a bit of power at first. Just a very small amount of power. Take out the parking brakes and just steer ourselves to the left. I have no idea why we're facing the wrong way, but there must be a reason, right? And get ourselves lined up on the runway for our flight from Mostar down to Dubrovnik. Right. Full power. And away we go. Yeah, I have no idea why we're facing the wrong. I'll have to watch the last video to see why. If I ended up pointing that way, that might be why. I don't know. Whoa, a bit sensitive on the rudder controls. I'm not really using a proper rudder axes. And there's 60 knots. So we'll go ahead and rotate. Oh, a bit of a harsh rotation as well. I forget how sensitive. I mean, I was just flying the TBM for that landing challenge video in Toronto, so it's a little bit. This thing's a little more sensitive than that plane. And basically, we want to turn now to the south, and I want to basically trim the aircraft so it's pointing upwards without me doing anything. So there we go, we're now pointing south. So I just want to actually push this down a little bit now, because we're climbing a little bit too quickly. So I'll go down to, like, you know, a bit less than that, about maybe 700 feet per minute, something like that, 600 feet per minute, there we go. In fact, this thing's actually started climbing a little too much for my liking now. Make sure the flaps are up as well. And there is our river. You can see there, that is the Neretva River. So I want to follow that now for quite some distance, actually, through the hills. And I can't just follow the GPS and go direct because of these mountains. I am going to follow the Neretva River, of course. We'll go up to about 2,000 feet at first because the terrain around here is not that high. So we should be just fine to follow that. we'll basically just get ourselves on course with the river. And I'll start pitching down a little bit now. And we should be alright. So after that, make our way to the rolling hills east of the riverbank. So that's what we need to do after. So we're basically following this river now for a little bit. I want to basically just make sure we can pitch down a little bit. We'll decrease the power as well. Make sure that what I'm trimming for is actually cruise at my current rate. And we'll basically just, there you go, just pitch the plane down nicely. And then follow this river along until we reach a town. So yeah, I'm going to keep pitching down a little bit more, Make sure we'll have a little look at the trim wheel. You can see there it's in. We'll put it down a little bit more. Oh wait, no, up. I get confused by that. There. So just make sure that the trim is all right. We're now at cruise speed, so the trim should be accurate for where we are. You see there, it's mostly neutral now, just past neutral. Seems as if that'll be okay, I think. Always a bit difficult to trim these aircraft. Apparently in real life it's easier. I've never flown a plane in real life, so I wouldn't know, but you know. Right, we're just following this river along now until we're looking for a town. So we're looking riverside town where two bridges cross the waterway near its centre. So that's obviously that's not that town then, is it? Clearly, that's only one bridge crossing its centre, not two. So I'm trying to get this plane trimmed out. We're struggling a little bit to do that. The trim's a little bit random depending on what speed you're doing. So obviously it's quite hard to trim at the start because our speed obviously, you know, on climb we're doing 80 knots. We're now doing about 107 knots. It's kind of our average. We're looking for about 95% on the throttle. There we go, 95%, perfect. And then we'll just trim this plane. So you can see now, we're now at 2,500 feet, so that's perfect really for what we want to be doing today. We can just cut across this river now. There's no need to bother skipping that bit out there. There's no bother following the river quite so windy because we are now above the hills, so we're all right. And we can see it on our GPS as well, which is perfect. So we're just looking for a little town now somewhere along this river. And then from there, we want to make our way to the rolling hills east of the riverbank. A road runs southeast towards the Hatovo Plateau Nature Reserve. Just south of it lies large semi-artificial Svitavsko Lake. These pronunciations aren't very helpful, are they, for me? Make your way across it, aiming for the southern shore. So we're looking for a lake at some point, obviously, you know. So what we're going to do, make our way to the rolling hills. It doesn't say whether we have to follow the road or not, though. It just says a road. Like, I don't know. It could be a bit more clear, I think, the instructions. I've always said that with a lot of these when I accidentally get lost. Although, you know, so far I've probably only on 2 episodes out of 6 now I've actually been a bit lost, and we've slendered up our destination. So, you know, obviously I would like to try and there is a get back on track feature, but I would like to try and avoid that, because if you do the entire tour without using that, you get an achievement to say you've done the tour. You lose that achievement as soon as you use the get back on track feature. So I'd rather not use it if I can help it. So this looks like the settlement, I think, of Kaplina. Again, honestly, excuse my pronunciation, it's probably totally wrong. In fact, it's almost definitely wrong. But, you know. So this is the town here. We're looking for two bridges. There are those bridges. Look, you can see 1 and 2. And we're basically looking for the rolling hills. Which, again, it's not massively clear, because this entire area is rolling hills. Hills. I think that might be it there. It says east, yeah? Yeah, east. So I think that's the lake there, look. I think that's the Svitavsko Lake. It's quite large, and it's to the east of the riverbank. So, and then these are the rolling hills, look, I think. I think these are the rolling hills. So basically we want to head east. So we're looking, yeah. Oh, has my sim just crashed? I think my sim may have crashed. Yeah, my sim's crashed. I've never actually experienced that before. A lot of people have been saying there's issues with their sim crashing. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there we go. I briefly paused the recording, and after about 10 seconds, my sim is back up and running. I just paused the recording, because I wasn't sure. I thought I might have to quit the game and then start again, but there we go. We're alright. Yeah, I guess it was just loading some scenery or something. That was a bit worrying. It froze for about 30 seconds. I paused it, so you guys wouldn't have seen all of that in the recording. But anyway, away we go again. Hopefully we don't have another issue with that now. Fingers crossed. Right, okay, we're just about past this settlement now. And we're still climbing. I don't exactly know how, because I've trimmed it quite a bit now to try and maintain level flight, but struggling a little bit, really. So when I turn, obviously that does make the make us lose a bit of altitude. But there, I'm just trimming it to try and get proper. And they go. We've now passed the town, so we want to basically turn left and head towards the lake. So make your way across it, aiming for the southern shore, and proceed past it to a multi-road junction near the village of Gornje Hrasno. So that's what we're looking for now. That's our next point of interest, that village. So we're looking for the rolling hills. These are these are definitely rolling hills. And you can see we're looking for a bit of a road. It said, didn't it? A road runs southeast. So we're currently heading southeast. Yeah. So we're looking. There you go. There's our road. Look. This looks like a nature reserve around here. That's what we're aiming for. So basically, we want to follow this now. Towards this lake, or we can see on our map here. I believe that's the lake there in question. So we'll just keep heading. There we go. We're now heading, actually not quite east. There we go, southeast. Yeah. So this is the southeast road here, I believe. And then that's our lake in question. So we want to head to the end of that lake. We want to head to the southern part of the lake, which is about there. And from there, we're aiming for a southern shore and proceed past it to a multi-road junction. Oh, I accidentally knocked my throttle then. That would have knocked the trim out a little bit, but we're all right now. We're at about 2,800 feet now, so we're doing pretty good right now. Maintaining pretty level flight, which is really good. Means I have this thing trimmed pretty well, which is kind of, obviously what I wanted. So right now we just sort of head straight ahead. Now we're just basically just going in a straight line until we come across our southern point of the lake, and hopefully we experience no worrying crashes. You can see there's our route. Look, so it does plot a route for us on the VFR map, and we are allowed to use that. However, I try to avoid it as much as possible. That's the southeast road there, look, and that leads us to the lake. We basically just follow this lake straight across now to its southern point, which is about here. You can see we're heading south, so the south shore is about here. So that's what we're trying to reach. Just turn left a little bit now. It's starting to actually drift to the right. So if I can get the wind up on here. I don't exactly know how to do it. There's a way that you can get the wind in a certain mode. Wind. So we've got option. We want to do option 3. That gives us the current wind. Right, back. I don't know why that's still there. There we go, that's gone. So there we go. We've now got the winds up on our thing, so we can see exactly what the wind is doing. We've got a 7-knot wind. I don't know, I should do that before every leg, honestly. This plane's drifting to the right slightly, so we need to watch that. Because it is putting us slightly off course with the southern part of the river, which is... Actually, we've just passed that. So we're looking for... So we want to keep going. Actually, I think we should start climbing, I have a feeling we should start climbing. We're looking for a road junction. I believe that's the road junction there. What on earth? Okay, I don't know. I'm having some slight control issues right now with this particular plane. I'm going to start pitching it up now and give it full power, because I think we do need to climb a little bit looking at these hills. That's about 4,000 feet maybe. It's a shame because I've got it trimmed so well, but that's what I have to do. So we're basically heading now until we reach this town, which is Gornje Hrasno. From the southern bank of the reservoir, find a canal. What? Those instructions do not add up with each other. I'm sorry. Wait, have I skipped something? Oh, I have. Never mind. I closed off the wrong point of interest. Sorry. At the junction, look for the road leading south. So there's the junction. There's the road leading south. This is the road in question here, look. Towards a gap between two mountains. There is the gap between the two mountains in question. Both carpeted with forest brush. Yep. Keep on this path until the road you're following merges with another. We're looking for the Jezero Vrutak Reservoir. That's our reservoir there, look. So basically head south on this road until it merges with another road, and then follow that road. I thought those instructions made no sense. I was like, reservoir? What reservoir? But you can see there it is now, so that's perfect for us. We'll just basically start turning towards the left now, towards this reservoir. Very steady turns, don't need to bother climbing anymore. I think luckily our route has actually avoided these hills quite well. I guess that's kind of the point of it really, isn't it? But we're doing alright at the moment, so quite impressed. We'll just look for the throttle. I just knocked it then and go 94%, that's fine. Just want to trim it down ever so slightly and keep ourselves going. So there is our reservoir in question. So from there we want to follow the Trebis, I can't pronounce that, canal running away towards the east. Follow it, gaining altitude until the channel loops north. So we do want to gain altitude then. We'll go up to about 4,000 feet, I think. Just a very, very gentle climb on the trim. Very, very gentle. We'll keep the throttle the same as it is. So this is our canal. So we want to follow it until it loops north. At which point you will break off and turn southeast, following a road. So we're now on to point of interest number 4, basically. Actually, I think we may be slightly too far away from that reservoir. And I think we're alright. I think we're okay. Because I've slightly cut it, haven't I? Which the game might not like. But I think we should be alright. But yeah, I can see there. I can see why we're gaining altitude. Look at that. There are clearly some hills. So this is our canal then that we're following. So we want to basically follow this canal round. We've got a bit of a crosswind at the moment, which is slightly a problem, but it's alright. You can see we've gone on to our next point of interest now, which is this canal. I mean, basically, when it starts looping north, which is there, look, we want to break off and turn southeast. We're already heading southeast, actually. Following a road that cuts through the village of Trentina and up the hillside. So I think that's our road, look. And that's definitely our road. So we want to basically just follow straight ahead to that road. That's our next point of interest. And then from there, just coming up. So we're doing alright, actually, so far. In this little fun trip that we're doing. I do like this this VFR flying. It's good fun. Definitely good fun. Okay, it's one of the best features in this sim, I think, personally. It's added quite a bit. Don't think we need to climb any more than where we are right now. I don't really see any terrain that's an issue for us. We can go for that next patch of terrain. Look, I think we actually let's climb to about 4,000. You can see it does get a bit higher later on. We'll just do a very, very slow climb to not lose airspeed, or at least not too much airspeed anyway. Yeah, this game, it's so beautiful. I mean, I was thinking, this is on medium. That's what I find the most crazy. Like, maybe it's because I used to have FSX, but it does look pretty crazy. Why is this thing pitching down? I trimmed it up and it starts going down. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, it's going up now. finally. I don't know, the trim seems to be a bit strange. I think it's when I turn. Definitely knocks it a bit. Also, I don't have proper rudder control. You know, I think in real life you would use the rudder a bit while turning to sort of balance you out. If I use the rudder mid-air, I'm just going to get chucked all over the place. I have not got a precision rudder. I mean, look at that. See, I haven't got rudder pedals. I'm just using a little button. So you can see there's where the river. This is our road actually, so we need to follow that to another town. That's the town in question. So from the road, runs southeast to another town, Ravno, which in turn has a road running south over the mountainside. When that path arrives at the entrance of a tree-lined canyon, it bends back north, but you'll turn and head southwest. Okay? Well, right now I'm just heading southeast. I think we're following this road here, look. Yep, some of these roads look like rivers in the distance. That's definitely the road in question. That's Ravno. So we want to follow this all the way along now, this road, and then we want to basically follow down this canyon. It calls it a canyon, apparently. I think we can stop climbing now as well. 3,500 feet is enough, I think, for us. And you can see there is Dubrovnik, look. So we're coming to the end of our journey then. Sooner or later. This is point of interest 5 now, this next one, out of 8. These flights do go quite quickly. You know, there's 59 miles, which is quite lengthy, really, for a... You know, it's not a very quick plane, this one. It only does 105, 110 knots. So, don't expect too much from it, really. Going straight across now, we should see the road down here. You know, none of these roads seem to appear on our GPS. It's one thing I would like, more roads on the GPS. I think this actually might be a river we're following. Now, well, actually, what has happened to the road? The road was behind us. Yeah, there it is. Oh, there's the road, look. That's the road there. But obviously that's heading slightly in the wrong direction for us, really. We want to go to a canyon. Oh, hang on, is that the canyon we're following? I think this is the canyon. Oh yeah, southwest. Yeah. Tree-lined canyon. Yeah, this is where we want to go. I thought we were going up left, but I just remembered, yeah, southwest. So we want to go south, because I was thinking, hang on a minute, that road that we're meant to be following is actually curving this way. So we want to start turning right now. Actually, I think we should have climbed a little bit more than this. You can see there is our... There's the road. I think that point of interest is slightly in the wrong place, you know. For where we're actually heading. But never mind. There we go, it's now updated. So you can see there, I should have taken the right... I thought we were heading up there. We're actually heading down this canyon. So I'll just get ourselves back on track now. So our next point of interest, as you track southwest away from the tree-lined canyon, follow the contours of the pass all the way through. Your course will lead you down a hillside towards the village of Slano. Okay, perfect. So basically, we're just following this massive canyon now, basically, all the way through. Also, we've lost a lot of airspeed. That must have been the turning, and the trim's got all messed up as well. I'm guessing that's the speed we're doing, but the trim has got... I haven't adjusted it, and suddenly we're doing 800 feet per minute downwards. I don't understand that. You know, maybe someone could actually help me understand that, but how without trimming it and without touching up or down, it suddenly just starts pitching down 800 foot per minute? It makes no sense. It must have something to do with the airspeed. Or the throttle. The throttle hasn't changed, actually, so... Again, a little bit confusing. I thought it had something to do with the throttle and all the rest of it, doesn't it? Trim. It's basically keeping the aircraft... basically, it's an assistant to keep the aircraft... pointing straight without having to hold the yoke and without having to use the throttle to do it. But who knows? But heading straight along the hillside now. See that the GPS wants us to go direct. I'm not doing that, obviously. I'm not going over that hill. I'm not fitted over that. So you can see that's what the GPS wants us to do. Look, you can see there's our route. Again, this is a VFR flying. We shouldn't even have a GPS or something, but for some reason the game has given us one. But but even then we still need to follow visual really, otherwise we will just go crashing into a mountain, so you know. So basically just following this canyon through, and then we're going to turn left. Yeah, follow the contours all the way through. I'm looking for a hillside bay. No, we're looking for the hillside, which is the village of Slano. So we're going to follow this canyon round now. That's Slano there. I'm going to head southeast down the coastline. We're looking for the shipping port of Gruz, and that's the entry to Dubrovnik. So that's Slano, so we'll just keep heading straight on now until we pass that. And then we want to turn left and head southeast down the coast. Okay, we've still got about 20 miles to go to Dubrovnik, so we're not exactly there yet. Yeah, it looks very nice out there. It looks pretty decent. I do love these graphics. I'm getting a pretty nice 45-50 FPS right now. And outside I'm getting about the same. So that shows that the Cessna is pretty optimised. Right, we're going to go ahead and turn the left now. Very gentle turn round left. And we basically just want to follow the coastline of Slano Bay. From there, we want to fly over Dubrovnik and then a bit further southeast to reach the coast. Tracking with the shoreline, we'll pass the small island of Otok Lokrum. And eventually, we should reach a harbour and then the airport. So, looking good. But right now, for the next 12 miles, we're basically just following the coast along. So what we want to do is we want to follow this coastline all the way along. Until we reach Dubrovnik. I want to start pitching the plane down now, because I don't think we're going to need much altitude. What on earth? Yeah, this plane does drop a lot more than I expected. Did 2 clicks on the trim. For some reason, this plane doesn't seem to behave particularly well after a corner. Or after turning, it doesn't behave very well. But you basically just want to follow this coastline along now, basically. That's what we're doing. And the trim is misbehaving a little bit. But yeah, I'm just sort of heading straight across. So it looks like we're descending, but we're actually climbing slightly. This trim is so messed up. Because of that white line, look, we're actually pointing downwards. You know, we're actually under. I'm trying to trim it down. It's actually doing absolutely nothing, which is really annoying. What on earth is that? I'm not sure what. I think that's a little gap in the scenery. That's something going a little bit wrong. We'll just ignore that. Right? Yeah. For some reason, I keep pitching this plane down. It doesn't want to. It doesn't want to descend. It's kind of weird. Like earlier in the flight, the trim wheel was like, I don't know. I think unless I like hold down the trim, it doesn't really seem to do much. Like, if I just press the trim button, it seems to do very little. I've discovered. Yeah, I think I've finally got it all right. I think I've got the trim sorted again. So anyway, we want to basically head straight across now, head straight across this shoreline here. Yeah, we have to send it a bit more now. Like, I just don't get it. Is it delayed? Like, I didn't touch anything. I didn't turn, I didn't touch the trim, I didn't touch the throttle, and yet somehow this thing was level, and then suddenly started doing minus 300 foot per minute. Like, is that how it is in real life? Or is that a bug? Because it does mildly confuse me. Never mind. You can see there, 5.5 miles now for our next point of interest. That is Dubrovnik. So we should be able to see a harbour. And we're looking for the Lapad Peninsula. I think that's that there. So we're looking for a bay. Yeah, that's the bay. And this is the shipping port of Gruz. So that's what we're looking for. And then we should see somewhere our approach into Dubrovnik. I think we're just following the bay the entire time. I think we're just following this shoreline the entire time because Dubrovnik Airport is on the shoreline, so that kind of makes sense. And now we're climbing. But there we go. Heading straight across, you can see there is a bunch of what look like ILS waypoints and things. That's normally a pretty good indication that we're approaching an airport. If we zoom it out, we should be able to see Dubrovnik, or not. It's kind of strange. Maybe it doesn't show. Why is our plane turning? This is what I don't get. Like, this plane seems to do stuff without me touching the controls, and I want to know, does that actually happen? Just glancing down at a GPS, and then suddenly the plane just decides, nope. I would like to know if that's accurate or not. But anyway, yeah, we're basically just going to head straight across now, which just increase the range. It's always fiddly to press as well. Let's get it just right. There we go, 15. You can see there's our airport, looks straight ahead on the GPS, about 10 miles away. So, yeah, we basically just want to head in a straight line from here to Dubrovnik. So we're doing pretty good, really. Just heading straight along. The airport should start to come into view pretty soon. We're only about 9.5 miles, about 10 miles away now from the airport in question. In fact, that is Dubrovnik Airport. I see it on our little screen. So you can see there is Dubrovnik City along the side there, and that is our airport. Oh dear, why is this? This is what I mean. Like, this plane is just randomly pitching down and up and down and up without me doing anything. Like, is there a magic button that's mapped to, like, trim on my keyboard or something that I don't know about that's messing something up? Or some, like, axes on my joystick that's messed up, because it's a bit weird. I can't unplug the joystick and plug it back in, though, to test, because that will crash the game. It is a known bug. I'm recording this on the 31st of August before the first patch of this game, although this video probably won't go live until, like, September the 12th or 13th. I'm a bit ahead of myself at the moment, but yeah. You can see there's the airport, look. So we're doing pretty good. Again, they also need to work on the ETEs on these bus trips. Like, this flight has taken me 32 minutes so far, because you spawned in at 5 AM. It's meant to take us 28. And I have not been going slowly. You know, I've been going 95% throttle. Like, you know, I can't... You don't cruise at 100% throttle. That's not how that works. And even if I did go 100% throttle, I'd only be able to get up an extra 5 knots anyway. And that would make 4 minutes up. It'd make up only 5 miles in an hour, and it's only a half-hour flight, so it makes up 2.5 miles. Which just add up to 4 minutes. Anyway, there is our airport. Seven miles away from here, and I can see it. So we're just going to basically, you know, this thing, remember, is quite a slow aircraft, so obviously got to remember it's going to take us a long, even though in an Airbus this is like final approach now, in this plane it takes a long time just to cover this, because in Airbus at this stage we're doing 160 knots, we're doing 105 and actually I think about 5 miles out I will actually I will start to cut the power now actually and descend. So there you go. Get a bit more idle. It's going to mess up the trim. It's going to start dropping out of the sky of the plane, because that happens. And make sure the trim is neutral now for landing, pretty much. There's neutral trim. And there's 80 knots, so full flaps now. And we'll increase the power a little bit. Landing speed about 60 knots, 65 knots in this plane. And you can see there is our airport. We're 4.5 miles out now. We're properly slowed down. And we're a little bit high, so I'm just going to start pushing it down a little bit more. Yeah, I should have descended a little bit earlier, I think. But never mind. Never mind. So just start to descend. Yeah, I'm a little bit off, aren't I? And we'll just idle it, pretty much, almost, to let us drop the speed, and then we're descending pretty good now. The PAPI lights are all white though, so we're still clearly a bit high. Doing quite a steep descent at the moment, which should get us down in time for the airport easily. I need to fly with an A320 or something. I've never actually been in an FSX, believe it or not, although it is quite a well-known airport. It's about 2.5 hours flight time from the UK, something like that. I know EasyJet do the route, so we could probably do that sometime. So there we are. Still a bit high according to the PAPI light, so I think we're looking a bit better now. And then we can land, and that'll be it. Right, there we go. Turn left onto approach now. Perfect. Perfect. Possibly a bit high, but we should be alright. And then we'll just mostly idle the power now. We're still quite high, aren't we? Looking at this. But we have gained it back pretty much now. Obviously, don't have to be wrong. Touchdown zone. We're in a Cessna, so we can practically touch down instantly. There's 1,000 feet. Don't actually know what elevation the field is, but we should be alright. Okay, there's 500 feet. PAPI lights should start glowing red now, because I think we're back on course. Get a bit more power now, maintain about 65 knots. Very steady approach. Looks like we're hardly moving, honestly. And we're still doing 65 knots, it's not slow. And then there we go. And then just idle the power, let us drop onto the runway nice and gently. There we go, nice. and then just stop. And you can see that flight took like 35 minutes at least, so I don't know where this game gets its ETAs from, but never mind. And there we go. Finished, 37 minutes, and that flight, yeah, the flight took us 36 minutes, so it's not accurate, but whatever. I hope you guys did, of course, really enjoy this flight. The next leg now is actually the very short leg again. It's only a 10-minute flight. Next one, so stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys did really enjoy this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.